Hey guys, today's video is going to be another Poshmark Q&A. I'm on a roll. I'm doing these weekly. Well, this is probably going to be every couple of days because I've got a lot of questions to get through. The first question is, I have a random question about how to make the best use of your time with listing and get more done in less time. I've never been able to list more than 8 things in one day. Between the photographing and the listing process, it takes me forever. How can I increase my speed so I can actually grow my closet where I want it? So I'm not sure like your situation. I don't know if you have like a full-time job or if you're doing Poshmark full-time. It says you can't list more than 8 things in one day. So what I do is every day I set aside a certain time frame to get something specific done. So I will set aside a certain amount of time to follow people or to share my items or to list things. Usually right after I photograph something, I list it. So I like to do bulk listings as opposed to listing just like 1 or 2 or 3 things each day. I don't know, that just works best for me. So after I photograph a bunch of things, I immediately list them all. And like I said, I set aside a dedicated time frame where I just do that. I don't allow any distractions. I'm like, Lewis, you're watching the children. I'm doing this right now if he's home. You know, if he's not home, it's a lot more difficult. Usually I try to do it while the girls are eating lunch or while like Abilene is napping. And I know Emily and Sorella can play together just fine. I mean, there are, you know, distractions and interruptions obviously because life, but I try my best to have no distractions and just get it done. I think I need to know like a little bit more information about you. You said you're not able to list more than 8 things in one day. It would make me think that you have like another job because I don't know, like listing 8 things, that, you know, that shouldn't be an all-day process. So if you could give me a little bit more information about you, then I can continue your answer in my next video. All right, next question is, I'm wondering if the person that asked the question, okay, so this is a question talking about my previous video. If you didn't see that, I will link it down below. It says, I'm wondering if the person that asked the question about the showrooms wasn't asking about the 3 showrooms that change every day at the top of your feed, just on top where it tells you about current or upcoming parties. Okay, so yes, if you go to, okay, if you're on the app and you go to shop, it does have showrooms listed down here. These showrooms are chosen by Poshmark. You can't like share something to this showroom. It's just, like for example, this is men's Louis Vuitton wallets. So if you list, actually, you know, I don't know how you get something in this showroom actually. I feel like if you list something, then they will share it to the showroom, but I don't know if you get like a notification saying that Poshmark shared it to the showroom. I'm not sure on that actually. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research, but yeah, this person is saying maybe they were talking about those showrooms, and maybe you're right. So the person that asked the original question, maybe if you could clarify. Either way, I'm gonna have to do more research about those showrooms because I got unanswered questions. Okay, so this is another tax question. I'm just going to touch on this briefly. But this person said the whole tax thing only applies to people who do that full time, right? And I just want to clear that up. That's not true. You have to claim Poshmark earnings on your taxes if you make more than $600 in a year. You have to do it. Otherwise, the government will come after you eventually. Maybe not immediately, but eventually they will. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there because, you know, if one person thought that, maybe another person thought that. I don't think I was too specific in that video. Again, if you have tax questions, I will link my friend Mark down below on Instagram. He is Not Your Dad's CPA. He has all the answers. Maybe not all the answers, but he's got a lot of answers. He's a CPA for resellers. So he's the person to ask, not me. But I do know if you make over $600 in 1 year, you do need to claim that on your taxes. All right, next question. What's the point of selling name brand items on Poshmark? Wouldn't people just go to stores if they wanted those items? I've always wondered that. Very good question. It makes sense, right? Like, why would somebody buy something off Poshmark when they can just go to the store and buy it? Convenience, maybe. Maybe they are looking for a particular brand and they don't have that brand near them. Maybe they don't want to go out shopping, you know? I don't really like going to the mall anymore and crowds of people. I can deal with crowds of people at the thrift stores, but not the mall. Also, maybe the item on Poshmark is cheaper than it would be in the store. There's lots of reasons why people shop on Poshmark, but that is a very, very good question, and that's one that I get a lot. Like, why should I shop with you when I can just go to the store and buy it? It's like, you could, but, and I've said this in a previous video, you know, if you're looking for like a specific brand like Victoria's Secret, I sell a lot of Victoria's Secret. If you're looking for Victoria's Secret, obviously you can go to Victoria's Secret and buy it. It's gonna be a hell of a lot more expensive at the store than it is in my closet. Or if you wanna go to a thrift store, you gotta comb through everything to find Victoria's Secret. You know, they don't have it like branched off in sections by brand name. That would be amazing if they did, but that's just never gonna happen. So again, I think it's mainly convenience. Next question. I had a personal best of 10 sales over the weekend. Congrats, Michelle. But when I took them to the post office, the lady was so rude. She acted like it was too much work for her to scan them and aggressively scanned them and threw them on a pile in the floor. Threw them on the floor in a pile. I had to stay calm, but I wanted to flip out. Is there another way to get packages scanned and shipped without taking it to the front desk of the post office? Please share what you do with many packages. Thanks. Okay, so that's frustrating. I know when I go to different post offices, you know, there are some like disgruntled workers, you know, when you come in with a big bag of packages and, you know, you can tell that they don't want to scan your many packages, but I don't know. I feel like you just got to deal with it. That's their job, first of all. Like, you're making them do their job. Like, oh my gosh. Obviously, it might be a little frustrating if you go at like a busy time and there's like a huge line of people and you have like 15 packages, you know, that they have to scan. You know, that can be kind of annoying to them. I understand that. But again, it's their job. So what I do is I have certain times that I go into my post office that I know for the most part it's not going to be busy. That way, if I have a lot of packages for them to scan, you know, there's not going to be like tons of people waiting behind me. I also, and this is just personal preference, I'm not saying do this or don't do this, but I don't get a receipt when I go to the post office. I have built a really good relationship with my post office. I know like pretty much all the workers there and I trust them. So sometimes I will just, like, even if there's a long line of people, they see me come in, they're like, hey, just leave the packages here, and I'll leave them like right on the counter and they will scan them when they get to them. Again, I've built that relationship with my post office, so, you know, that's not something that everyone can do, especially if you go to like a larger post office. My post office is pretty small. So yeah, that's what I do. But you can also schedule a pickup so your mailman or mailwoman that comes to your house picks up your packages. You can go onto USPS.com and schedule a pickup. Just tell them, you know, how many boxes you have, and, you know, you can do that. If you only have a couple packages, you can leave them in your mailbox. You know, depending on where your mailbox is, if it's on your porch, you can leave, you know, packages on your porch so your mailwoman knows to pick them up. There's a couple of different things you can do. But like I said, you know, I bring my many packages to the post office and they know me by now. So when they see me come in, they're like, okay, they know. So again, I've built that relationship with my post office. Not everyone can do that. You know, an alternative is to have your mailwoman pick them up at your house with a scheduled pickup. Okay, next question. Okay, so this is just a comment, but I did want to address this. I can say 80% of Poshers put pictures of what they find online, not the actual product. That annoys me, but you're very helpful. Thank you. So I think what she was referring to is stock photos. So a lot of people do put stock photos on their listings, and I do that too. But whenever I put stock photos, I always put photos of the actual product as well. I'm actually trying out a new thing. I downloaded an app that removes the background from your pictures, so it's just like a clean white background. And I'm testing that out to see how that works. But yeah, I agree. Like, if somebody just has stock photos, that's annoying because you want to see the actual product. But I do think that stock photos help sometimes, because sometimes you get an item that you just can't style yourself. You know, you put on your mannequin and it just doesn't look right. So to have a stock photo that's professionally done, I think is helpful at times. But again, if that's all they have, that's no good. Next question, are you a quick flipper for the cheaper, or do you wait to get the right buyer and get more money? Why? So it definitely, Abilene is outside my door, can you guys hear her? It definitely depends on the item. If it's a more expensive item, I will sit on it until the right buyer comes along, but for the most part, I like to flip things quickly. My closet is very, very reasonably priced, and I do flip things quickly. Yeah, so the majority of my closet is quick flips, but if I get an expensive item, I don't mind sitting on it. Next question is, I just received a message from someone that wants to buy an item, but they don't get paid until next week. Is there any way to place a hold on something? So that's kind of tricky. I don't like to do holds for people unless I know, like, you know, 99% sure that they're going to buy something. So like, for instance, if somebody sends me an offer on something and their card is declined and they're like, hey, you know, I just need to wait until payday and I'll buy this, then, you know, sometimes I will put a hold on it. And what I do is I just mark the item as not for sale, and that like holds it. And I tell the buyer that. I tell them, you know, when you're ready, let me know and I'll put the item for sale again and you can purchase it. So there's no way to put something like on hold. The way to like kind of get around that is just to mark it not for sale. And that's what I do sometimes, not often, to buyers that, you know, I just feel in my gut are trustworthy and they really do want to purchase it. But be careful with that because you know, you could potentially lose out on a sale. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I answered some of your questions. I got a little one knocking on my door, so that's my cue to go. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter. If you're new to Poshmark and you want to sign up, you can use my code KEEPINITRAD and you'll get a $10 credit. And I also get a $10 credit, so thank you. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.